Hello friends, welcome to Manu Law Classes. I am Gautam Dikshit. Today in this video we are going to discuss the important questions of the month. The intention of this video is that to revise the whole important current affairs of the month of June. Along with that, through question answer format we will try to crystallize the important concepts, terms or any important information related to a particular topic. Before I start, my friend, we at Manu Law Classes, we have already started the admissions for 1 year and 2 year CLAT courses. You can enroll today by calling us at 9971444054. You can also visit our website www.lawentranceindia.com. The new batches which are available are for the year 2022 and as well as 2023. Do not wait for the things to get normalized. Enroll today, start the preparation itself. The more earlier you are starting the preparation, the more easier you are near to your goal. We at Manu Law Classes, we have come up with a unique concept of 15 days free trial. The highlights of this 15-day free trials are live classes with one-to-one interaction with our faculty, then access to recorded conceptual lectures on various topics, then topic test, then sectional test, and then analysis of those tests to enable you to research on your strength, weakness, opportunity and threat or SWOT analysis of your preparation. Now how to sign up, how to get access to this 15-day free trial? It is very easy. Go into the description box down. You will find the link for the 15-day free trial. Locate that link and then fill the form, and then you are set to access our unique 15-day free trial. Now let's start with the topic. The first and very important question, ये बहुत ज़्यादा न्यूज़ में चल रहा है और इसके बारे में काफ़ी बात हो रही है. इट इज़ अबाउट द कंज्यूमर ई कॉमर्स रूल्स 2020 अभी प्रोमulgate हुआ है अंडर द कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 2019 एंड इट हैज़ बीन प्रोमulgated बाय द यूनियन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स. इसके कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट हाईलाइट्स है. द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस बिल इज टू eliminate the wrong practices in the e-commerce platform and make the field of e-commerce facilities level playing. Okay, it should not go against the interest of the consumers as well as it should not go against the interest of the traditional traders or which we call them as brick and mortar shop. हम उसे क्या कहते हैं? हम उसे brick and mortar shop भी कहते हैं. Fine. So some of the provisions which are there. Okay, so the question is which of the following is not mandated. ऐसे questions में friends जब not आता है तो आपको खास करके उसका ध्यान देना होता है. Okay, so reading the question is very important. पहले आप identify कर लीजिए कि उसमें not है या कोई negative word है क्या, not, false, incorrect. Fine, because most of the students are committing the mistakes over here. Fine, so देखिए क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है आपसे. Which of the following is not mandated by the consumer e-commerce rules 2020 which was recently promulgated by the Union Ministry of Consumer Affairs. पहला है appointment of the resident grievance officers. दूसरा है registration of e-commerce entity with the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. C is deliberate misrepresentation of information related to goods and services is prohibited. Then D is filter mechanism to identify goods based on the country of origin. Okay, now let's see what can be the right answer. So the right answer is none of the above. If you will see the question, now so the new consumer e-commerce rules 2020, it provides for the appointment of resident grievance officer. It means that most of the e-commerce facilities, for example Amazon, they have their headquarters not in India, somewhere else, but the turnover in India is very high. But if some Indian consumer has any problem with the Amazon, so then the government mandates कि उनका कोई ऑफिसर इंडिया में ही होना चाहिए. That's why resident grievance officer. साथ साथ में now the registration of e-commerce entity with the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, इसको हम DPIIT भी कहते हैं, इसके साथ ज़रूरी हो गया है. और ये registration number will be important to for every e-commerce platform. Then deliberate misrepresentation of information related to goods and services is prohibited. इसको हम एक और term से जानते हैं वी कॉल्ड इट एज मिस सेलिंग। मिस सेलिंग कि जो इन्फॉर्मेशन हमको ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म पे दिख रहा है और जो प्रोडक्ट हमको मिलता है उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंस है। देन देयर शुड बी अ फिल्टर मैकेनिज्म टू आइडेंटिफाई गुड्स बेस्ड ऑन द कंट्री ऑफ origin. So this is also important. Filter mechanism to identify goods based on country of origin. इससे डायरेक्टली डोमेस्टिक गुड्स को फ्लिप मिलेगा और इम्पटस मिलेगा। सो नाउ लेट्स लुक एट द रैशनल। द कॉमर्स कंज्यूमर ई कॉमर्स रूल्स 2020 प्रोवाइड्स फॉर अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ चीफ कंप्लायंस ऑफिसर एंड ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेसल ऑफिसर अंडर द कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 2019। ये एक्ट बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है। अंडर द कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 2019 के अंदर इस रूल को निकाला गया है। देन सेकेंड इज द रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ ई कॉमर्स एंटिटी विद द डिपार्टमेंट फॉर प्रमोशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्री एंड इंटरनल ट्रेड हैज बीन मेड मैंडेटरी। ओके, और हर ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म को एक यूनिक रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर मिलेगा विच हैज टू बी डिस्प्लेड ऑन देयर वेबसाइट्स। ओके फाइन, नाउ देखते हैं कि डिपार्टमेंट फॉर प्रमोशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्री एंड इंटरनल ट्रेड कौन से मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर आता है। देन इट कम्स अंडर द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री। उसके बाद ऑल ई कॉमर्स एंटिटीज आर रिक्वायर्ड टू प्रोवाइड बेस्ट बिफोर और यूज बिफोर डेट टू एनेबल कंज्यूमर्स टू मेक एन इन्फॉर्म्ड परचेज डिसीजन। मिस सेलिंग से बचाने के लिए फॉर एवरी प्रोडक्ट्स दे हैव टू डिस्प्ले द एक्सपायरी डेट ऑफ दैट प्रोडक्ट। उसके साथ साथ द नेक्स्ट एंड वेरी मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज दैट फ्रेंड्स द गवर्नमेंट हैज ऑलरेडी कम अप विद द मिशन कॉल्ड एज मेक इन इंडिया। ओके, इन मेक इन इंडिया द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ मेक इन इंडिया इज टू गिव सपोर्ट टू द डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग। अब सपोर्ट कैसे किया जा सकता है? एक गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट तो कर ही रही है, दूसरा सपोर्ट कैसे हो सकता है? दैट गवर्नमेंट हेल्प्स दिस डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरर्स in selling their products. So now the government through this e-commerce rules 2020 now has made mandatory कि अगर कोई भी e-commerce प्लेटफॉर्म imported प्रोडक्ट बेच रही है अपने प्लेटफॉर्म पे तो उन्हें उसके साथ साथ डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट्स अगर उस प्रोडक्ट में अवेलेबल है तो उसको भी डिस्प्ले करना पड़ेगा। एट द सेम टाइम दे हैव टू अप्लाई द फिल्टर मैकेनिज्म ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट्स बेस्ड ऑन द कंट्री ऑफ ओरिजिन। फॉर एग्जाम्पल मान लीजिए कि आई वॉन्ट टू बाई अ हेडफोन। अब मैं सोनी का हेडफोन खरीदना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि उसकी क्वालिटी काफ़ी अच्छी है एंड आई एम बाइंग दैट फ्रॉम फ्लिपकार्ट और अमेजोन। सो नाउ व्हाट दे हैव टू डू दैट अपार्ट फ्रॉम सोनी अगर कोई डोमेस्टिक कंपनी है जो उसी क्वालिटी का बहुत ही अच्छा हेडफोन बना रही है तो वो भी मुझे दिखाया जाएगा और उसके नीचे लिखा रहेगा मेड इन इंडिया। ओके, सो सी to ensure that the domestic manufacturers and suppliers get a fair and equal treatment on the e-commerce platform, it has been provided that where an e-commerce entity offers imported goods or services, it shall incorporate a filter mechanism to identify goods based on the country of origin. ये important है। Okay, and at the same time they have to suggest the alternatives to ensure fair opportunity to domestic goods. For example, अगर मेरे अमेजोन पे आएगा ही नहीं कि सोनी के अलावा there are many good headphones which have been manufactured in India and they are available, so I will not buy it. Okay, क्योंकि कंज्यूमर को इन्फॉर्मेशन होना चाहिए। फाइन, सपोज इफ आई वांट टू बाय अ गुड कोट फॉर माई सेल्फ एंड सपोज देयर इज सम मैन्युफैक्चरर फ्रॉम इंडिया एंड दे आर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग गुड क्वालिटी कोट, तो वो मेरे प्लेटफॉर्म पे दिखना चाहिए, देन ओनली आई कैन बाय इट। फाइन, अब हम 5वें पे चलते हैं और ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, फॉल बैक लायबिलिटी। फॉल बैक लायबिलिटी, इसको ध्यान में रखिएगा, ये एग्जाम में आ सकता है। इसका डेफिनेशन भी आपसे पूछा जा सकता है या ये भी पूछा जा सकता है कि इससे क्या होने वाला है। ओके, इम्पैक्ट भी पूछ सकते हैं या इसका डेफिनेशन क्या होता है वो भी पूछ सकते हैं। अच्छा, अब इसका एक कॉन्सेप्ट समझते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल अमेजॉन एंड फ्लिपकार्ट, दे आर ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म। ओके, they are e-commerce platforms. Now what they say that we are just the aggregator. We are just the aggregator. Aggregator का मतलब क्या होता है? That we are a link between seller and buyer. Okay, between seller and buyer. Fine. But समझो कि कंज्यूमर ने, बायर ने, ओके, कोई प्रोडक्ट लिया। Now imagine a situation that buyer, ओके, ने कोई प्रोडक्ट खरीदा किसी एक सेलर से, फाइन. नाउ सपोज दैट प्रोडक्ट becomes faulty. Now that product becomes faulty. Then who is liable? किसकी गलती है ये? Who is liable? तो इसकी क्लैरिटी न्यू ई कॉमर्स रूल करता है. क्या कहता है? देखिए 5th पॉइंट, टू एंश्योर दैट कंज्यूमर्स आर नॉट एडवर्सली अफेक्टेड इन द इवेंट वेयर अ सेलर फेल्स टू डिलीवर द गुड और द सर्विसेज ड्यू टू नेग्लिजेंट कंडक्ट, कि मैंने कुछ मंगाया और मुझे आया नहीं, आया तो वो फॉल्टी प्रोडक्ट था. ओके फाइन. तो इसके लिए एक फॉल बैक लाइबिलिटी इंट्रोड्यूस किया जा रहा है फॉर एवरी मार्केट प्लेस ई कॉमर्स एंटिटी. मीन्स यहाँ पे सेलर अपने आप को बचा नहीं सकता कि ये मेरी गलती नहीं है. नो, इफ द प्रोडक्ट इज फॉल्टी देन इट इज़ द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म एंड द सेलर टू रेक्टिफाई इट. सो इट इज़ फॉल बैक लाइबिलिटी. क्योंकि क्या है कि जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल सपोज कि आप किसी दुकान में गए, आपने उससे पेन मांगा, पेन ठीक से लिख नहीं रहा है, तो आप उसी वक्त इंस्टेंटली यू कैन रिटर्न द पेन एंड यू कैन हैव द न्यू पेन. बट सच कॉन्सेप्ट इज नॉट अवेलेबल ऑन द ऑनलाइन परचेज. ओके, so this fallback liability introduces that concept that if you have got the faulty product or the services is not up to the mark, then it will ensure that consumer does not get an unfair treatment in the e-marketplace. अब हम आगे की क्वेश्चन पे चलते हैं. लेट्स हैव द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. आइडेंटिफाई द इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. ये अग्नि पी के बारे में है. नाउ सी, the first option is Agni P will replace Prithvi, Agni 1 and Agni 2 missiles in India's arsenal. The range of Agni P is 1000 to 2000 km. The C is Agni P is the mainstay of India anti-Pakistan nuclear arsenal. D is Agni P is the single stage solid propellant missile. E is none of the above. Now you have to tell me which of the following is incorrect statement. So let's come. Option D, Agni P. Okay, Agni P, fine. Option D, Agni P is a single stage solid propellant missile. Okay, single stage solid propellant missile. So over here what is the thing, that Agni P is not the single stage solid propellant missile, it is the double two stage solid propellant missile. Now let's study about Agni P. So Agni P, it is an advanced variant of Agni class missile. Fine. Agni class missile, they are the part of missile program of India. Missile program of India. ओके, इसको हम एक और नाम से जानते हैं, इंटीग्रेटेड गाइडेड मिसाइल. इंटीग्रेटेड गाइडेड मिसाइल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम of India. Fine. So when foreign countries, they refuse to give the missile development technology to India following the Pokhran test, the first Pokhran test or Smiling Buddha test, then India went on to indigenously develop the missile under the program called as Integrated Guided Missile Development Program of India in 1980s. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was the main personality involved in the development of missiles in India. Now see, we have developed Agni 1, Agni 2, Agni 3. Okay, but now we want a new type of missiles with new capabilities, with advanced technology. So Agni P missile, okay, it is going to replace Agni 1, 2 and 3. It is not going to replace Agni 4 and 5. Fine. Now see, what are the advantages of Agni P? It is the canisterized missile with the range capability. Now see, its range 1000 to 2000 km. It can strike any area in Pakistan but not in mainland China. It weighs 50% less. This is very important. It weighs 50% less than Agni 3 missile. Then it has the new generation of propulsion and guidance system. Okay, which is international navigation system based on advanced ring laser gyroscopes. Then since the missile is canisterized means that it needs a surface, okay, just to launch. It does not need a proper setup for launching the missile. It can be launched from any surface. So that's why it can, since it is a canisterized, so it can be launched from rail as well as road, giving flexibility to the army. The next is it can be stored for a longer period. Now the main target is that it is not directed against China, because China mainland is very big and is little far from India. So 1000 to 2000 kilometer range is not enough for China. For that we have Agni 5, about 5000 kilometer range. Fine. So this is basically a workhorse for nuclear deterrent against the Pakistan. Now recently it was test fired from APJ Abdul Kalam Island. ये भी important information है आपके लिए. APJ Abdul Kalam का नाम पहले क्या था? Earlier it was called as Wheeler Island. Where it is located? It is located in Balasore in Odisha. Next question देखते हैं, that which of the following is not one of the reason for the mutation of SARS-CoV-2. इसको हम कोरोना वायरस भी कहते हैं. Okay, so why this is in news? Because recently Delta plus variant, okay, has been detected in India. Delta plus variant, okay, so B.1.617, okay, it is called as Delta variant. Fine, इसमें एक mutation आ गया है. Fine, and then we called it as plus, Delta plus variant. Fine, and now Delta plus variant was recently given the variant of concern. The variant of concern tag by Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Fine. So who has given this name Delta? So there are alpha, beta, just for a revision, beta, gamma, delta. Okay, this nomenclature has been given by WHO. Fine. Now see, what are the reasons for mutation of SARS-CoV-2? So first is random error during application of virus, immune pressure faced by the virus after treatment, lack of COVID appropriate behavior, none of the above. Okay, question आपसे क्या पूछ रहा है? Which of the following is not one of the reason for the mutation of SARS-CoV-2? Fine. तो आपको ये देखना है कि कौन कौन से रीजंस हैं, कौन कौन से रीजंस नहीं है. ओके, बेस्ड ऑन दैट यू हैव टू गिव द आंसर. लिटिल ट्रिकी है बिकॉज आई हैव यूज्ड द वर्ड नॉट. फाइन, अब इसके आंसर की तरफ चलते हैं. सो द आंसर इज डी, नन ऑफ द अबव. सो फैक्टर्स विच आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द म्यूटेशन ऑफ SARS-CoV-2 आर, फर्स्ट इज रैंडम एरर ड्यूरिंग रेप्लिकेशन ऑफ वायरस. जब वायरस बॉडी में रेप्लिकेट करता है, जब मतलब अपना कॉपी बनाता है, तो उसी में कुछ एक हल्का सा एरर आ जाता है and the genetic makeup of the virus changes. The second is when the virus is faced with strong immune system. Okay, because people are taking injections, people are taking vaccines, they are going through treatments like convalescent plasma which is fighting the virus in the body. तो जब virus के ऊपर pressure आता है from immune system, okay, then what happens, the virus tries to change itself to evade the immune system. So the second one is immune pressure faced by the viruses after treatment such as convalescent plasma, vaccination और monoclonal antibodies. monoclonal antibodies देखिए क्या होता है, ये एक ऐसा क्लोन होता है. ओके, इट इज द क्लोन ऑफ एंटीबॉडी molecule. It is the clone of antibody molecule. So these are the antibodies produced by a single clone of cells with identical antibody molecules. Okay, so they clone, they try to replicate the antibody molecules present in the body. The next is uninterrupted transmission. बहुत ज़्यादा transmission हो रहा है population में due to lack of COVID appropriate behavior. For example, the second surge in India and the coming up of new viruses like Delta and Delta plus variant in India. Okay, इसका एक main reason ये है कि because the virus has circulated in large amount of population. Okay, and going through large amount of population, it has mutated itself, it has transformed itself. Okay, so this is one of the very important reason for the mutation of the virus. जितना ज़्यादा ट्रांसमिट करेगा पॉपुलेशन के बीच में, उतना ही ज़्यादा वायरस का म्यूटेट करना या वायरस में म्यूटेशन होने का चांसेस उतना ही ज़्यादा होता है. Okay, now see, द नेक्स्ट इज द वायरस। अब ये वायरस कब तक म्यूटेट करेगा, आपके दिमाग में क्वेश्चन होगा कि कब तक ये चलेगा। तो यहाँ पे क्या रहेगा कि जब तक जो डिजीज रहती है तब तक म्यूटेशन, वायरस का म्यूटेशन होने का चांसेस रहता ही है, बिकॉज as long as the disease is going on, the virus is transmitting through different bodies, and it is, as long as that is happening, so what will happen, the virus will get the chance to mutate itself. So the only way to stop this mutation is to stop corona. Then the next question is NetTrax, the high speed track HST, is in which of the following cities? Okay, ये न्यूज़ में था, फाइन. So A is Indore, B is Chennai, C is Noida, D is Jaipur, E is none of the above. हम इसके आंसर की तरफ देखेंगे, थोड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, वन लाइनर्स में आता है ये. सो आंसर इसका इंदौर है. नेटट्रैक्स इज इन इंदौर. ओके, ये पहला इंफॉर्मेशन है. नाउ नेटट्रैक्स है क्या? सेकंड इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट नेटट्रैक्स, इट इज़ द लॉन्गेस्ट सच ट्रैक इन एशिया. लॉन्गेस्ट सच ट्रैक इन Asia. Okay, and why it is important? First of all, that it is the longest such track in Asia, and it is the one-stop solution for all sorts of high-speed performance test. ठीक है, हमारे पास गाड़ियों को टेस्ट करने के लिए हमें ट्रैक चाहिए होता है. ओके, तो वो एरिया बहुत बड़ा होना चाहिए कि ताकि हम गाड़ियों का टेस्ट कर सकें. ओके, so this is directly going to impact the, जैसे कि अगर हम हाई स्पीड कार बनाते हैं इंडिया में, तो उसको हम टेस्ट ड्राइविंग कहाँ पे करेंगे? बिफोर लॉन्चिंग इट इन द मार्केट. सो दिस हाई स्पीड ट्रैक्स इन इंदौर इज गोइंग टू हेल्प दैट. ओके, एंड इट इज गोइंग टू कवर द vehicles from 2-wheelers to heavy tractor trailers. Okay, so all sort of vehicles can be tested at NetTrax. Now see, this is important. Recently the assembly election concluded in West Bengal. Then it got concluded in Assam, then Kerala, then Puducherry, Tamil Nadu. This election was quite in the news. Okay, and Madras High Court had already passed judgments against Election Commission that it is singularly responsible for the COVID surge in these election bound states. Fine. Now Puducherry, which is a union territory. Okay, it is a union territory with legislature. It is the union territory with legislature. Can you tell me how many other union territories are there in India which are UT with legislature? Okay, so there I give you a hint. There are 2 others. Okay, 2 others. Can you name it in the comment box? Fine. So Puducherry. So Puducherry, where the election was concluded, there a new chief minister has been appointed. So you have to identify the person who has been elected as the chief minister of Puducherry. So A is Shri V Narayana Swamy, B is Shri N Rangaswamy, C is Shri M K Stalin, D is Shri Pinarayi Vijayan, E is none of the above. So answer B. B is Shri N Rangaswamy. So what is the rationale? The rationale is Shri N Rangaswamy. He is from which political party? That becomes important. He is the founder of All India NR Congress. All India NR Congress. He is the newly elected Chief Minister of Puducherry. Now, okay, this is very important. International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking is annually observed on which of the following day? Okay. So A is 29th June, B is 28th June, C is 26th June, D is 27th June, E is none of the above. So answer is A, 26th June. Now let's look at the rationale, and it is very important. International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking is annually observed on 26th June, which aims to achieve the international society free of drug abuse. Okay, this is first thing, that it is annually observed on 26th June. Now what was the theme? The theme was share the facts on drugs and save lives. Fine. Now why this day is important for India? Because if you will see the geography of India, over here you have Myanmar and over here you have Afghanistan. Okay, these are the major centers of drug production in India. These are the major centers of drug production around India. What it, and since India lies between this Myanmar and Afghanistan, that's why India, okay, it suffers to the problem of drug trafficking, okay. And drug trafficking, why it is important? Because drug trafficking is one of the important source of terror financing. So if we just stop the drug trafficking, we can control the terror financing also. Now historical background, that why 26 June was selected as the International Day Against Drug Abuse. So we have to go in history. The history is related with British, or you can say East India Company and China, okay. So East India Company was involved in a very profitable trade where the drugs, okay, cultivated in West Bengal, opium which was cultivated in West Bengal, it was used for the sale in China, okay. So it was a very profitable trade for East India Company. But certain people in China like Lin Zexu, he was against the trade of opium, okay, incoming of opium in China. So he wanted to dismantle the opium trade, okay, and he finally ended it through war on June 25, 1839. There was two opium war between China and East India Company, okay. Just before the first opium war, Lin Zexu, he dismantled the opium trade in Guangdong, okay. He was the administrative head of Guangdong. So he ended the supply of opium from West Bengal to China. So that's why this day is important. And Britishers, they fought two opium war with China to resume the opium trade with China. Now Itat-e-Dwar, which was recently in news, is associated with which of the following? A is annual cultural festival of Jammu and Kashmir organized by the Ministry of Culture. B is it a railway bridge connecting Kashmir with rest of India? C is it a program to improve people to people contact between India and Pakistan? D is an e-filing portal of Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. E is none of the above. So answer D, it is an e-filing portal of Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. So what is the rationale? It is the Itat-e-Dwar. It has been launched by Ministry of Law and Justice. See, it is not launched by Ministry of Finance. Don't get confused. And see, I have given you information who is the Minister of Law and Justice, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad. He is also the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology. So he has launched an e-filing portal of Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, okay. Now why this portal is important? Because this portal will enable the online filings of appeals from the orders of the income tax tribunals or lower courts, applications, documents by various parties. Now can you tell me, there is one more scheme to settle the dispute, related to income tax. What is the scheme? Which scheme was launched by the government of India to settle the dispute related to income tax? If you know the answer, please message me in the comment box. Now the next is .in, okay. .in, it is the internet domain. .in, which is India's country code top level domain, which is also known as CCTLD, is operated by which of the following body? Is it operated by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology? Is it operated by National Internet Exchange of India? Is it operated by Computer Emergency Response Team? Or is it operated by Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, or none of the above? So the correct answer is B. It is National Internet Exchange of India. Fine. So National Internet Exchange of India operates the India's country code top level domain. So if in exam the question is asked that CCTLD stands for what? So CCTLD stands for country's code top level domain. So India's country code top level domain is .in, okay, and it is operated by National Internet Exchange of India. Now a brief information about the National Internet Exchange of India. So the National Internet Exchange of India क्या है? ये एक बॉडी है विच वॉज एस्टेब्लिश्ड इन 2003 अंडर द सेक्शन 8 ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट 2013। जो पहले का कंपनीज एक्ट था 1956, कंपनीज एक्ट 1956, उसमें सेक्शन 5 के अंदर नेशनल इंटरनेट एक्सचेंज ऑफ इंडिया आता है, बट वी हैड अ न्यू लॉ कंपनीज एक्ट 2013, उसमें ये सेक्शन 8 के अंदर आता है। नाउ व्हाट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ नेशनल इंटरनेट एक्सचेंज ऑफ इंडिया? सो इट फैसिलिटेट्स एक्सचेंज ऑफ डोमेस्टिक इंटरनेट ट्रैफिक between different internet service providers or ISPs. It facilitates the exchange of domestic internet traffic. For example, if some ISP is facing lot of traffic, then that traffic will be diverted to some other ISP. Now what is the significance of this diversion of traffic from internet traffic from one ISP to different ISP? It will lead to the an efficient utilization of whatever international bandwidth we have in the internet, okay, as well as it reduces our dependence on some foreign internet service provider, so it saves foreign exchange for us. And at the same time, since the traffic is diverted to ISP, so what is happening now, that the consumers, they don't have to wait for long before it gets connected to the website, so it improves the quality of services, internet services also. Now there is one program, Unmukt program. So Unmukt program was launched by which of the following ministry? The A is Ministry of Tribal Affairs, B is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, C is Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, D is Ministry of Women and Child Development, E is none of the above. चलो आंसर की तरफ देखते हैं. Unmukt program has been launched by Ministry of Tribal Affairs, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Okay, what is the rationale? The rationale is the Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs launched Unmukt program for eliminating sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia. Now when this program was launched on World Sickle Cell Day, which is annually observed on 19th June. मैंने आप लोगों को कितना इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया एक लाइन में? पहला इन्फॉर्मेशन ये दिया कि उन्मुक्त प्रोग्राम हैज़ बीन लॉन्च्ड बाय द यूनियन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्राइबल अफेयर्स. सेकंड इन्फॉर्मेशन मैंने आपको क्या दिया? व्हाट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस प्रोग्राम? एलिमिनेटिंग द सिकल सेल एनीमिया इन द ट्राइबल एरिया. थर्ड इन्फॉर्मेशन मैंने आपको क्या दिया? दैट इट वाज लॉन्च्ड ऑन वर्ल्ड सिकल सेल डे, एंड व्हेन द वर्ल्ड सिकल सेल डे इज ऑब्जर्व्ड, इट इज ऑब्जर्व्ड ऑन 19 जून. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द सिकल सेल anemia? It is a type of blood cancer. Okay, I just give you an example. Suppose this is your blood cell, circular in nature. Okay, circular in nature. Now what is the objective of this blood cell? They carry oxygen and nutrients. Oxygen and nutrients. Oxygen and nutrients to different parts of body. Now the size of this blood cell, okay, is that okay, determines the amount of oxygen and nutrients to be supplied. अगर ये साइज छोटा हो गया तो ऑक्सीजन और न्यूट्रिएंट की सप्लाई कम हो जाएगी, बहुत ही कम हो जाएगी. सिकल सेल का मतलब क्या होता है कि ये ब्लड सेल जो है ये आपका सर्कुलर ना होके, ओके, इट इज इन अ फॉर्म ऑफ लाइक दिस. ओके फाइन, सिकल के फॉर्म में हो जाएगा लाइक दिस. ओके, सिकल. फाइन. अब क्या हुआ? इसका सरफेस एरिया कम हो गया. सरफेस एरिया कम हो गया तो ऑक्सीजन और न्यूट्रिएंट की सप्लाई कम हो गई बॉडी में. ओके, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज सिकल सेल एनीमिया और ब्लड कैंसर. इंडिया में ओके मेजरली ट्राइबल पीपल आर अफेक्टेड बाय द सिकल सेल एनीमिया. जेनेटिक्स में भी कुछ ऐसा है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द ट्राइबल एरियाज दे आर इम्पैक्टेड बाय दिस डिजीज सिकल सेल एनीमिया. सिकल सेल एनीमिया को हम कैसे रोक सकते हैं? ओके, सो द इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज अर्ली डिटेक्शन एंड ट्रीटमेंट. अगर हम अर्ली डिटेक्शन और ट्रीटमेंट चालू कर सकते हैं सिकल सेल एनीमिया का, so we can increase the longevity of the life. So this Unmukt program is about that thing only. Okay, so see the second paragraph. Sri Arjun Munda, okay, Now this is also one of the information important for exam. Sri Arjun Munda, who is the Union Minister of Tribal Affairs, he flagged off mobile vans under Unmukt project to strengthen the screening and timely management of sickle cell disease in two districts. One is Khunti district, which is in Jharkhand, and Kanker in Chhattisgarh. These are the two districts, Khunti in Jharkhand and Kanker in Chhattisgarh, where high prevalence of sickle cell disease among tribals has been observed. The next is World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought is annually observed on which of the following day? The A is 21st June, B is 11th June, C is 19th June, D is 17th June, E is none of the above. Fine. So the correct answer is D, 17th June. 17th June is the day when the United Nations observes World Day to Combat desertification and drought. Okay, desertification का मतलब क्या होता है? When the productive land gets transformed into infertile land. Okay, अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा deforestation कर रहे हो, ठीक है, indiscriminate use of fertilizer and irrigation आप use करते हो, then the productive land can get transformed into deserts very fast. Okay, so the agricultural techniques which are mainly based on using synthetic fertilizers, okay, expansion of agricultural land by cutting down the trees, then indiscriminate use of water, all these are increasing the chances of desertification. Then ऊपर से क्या है कि climate change, because of climate change the rainfalls in the world they have become erratic, steady supply नहीं है, okay, water का. So what is happening, these are increasing the chances of desertification. So the theme for 2021 was C, restore the land, restoration, land and then recovery. It is focusing on restoring the lost productivity of the land. Fine. Now the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, ये एक convention है, UNCCD कहते हैं हम उसको. Okay, it is the outcome of Agenda 21. What is Agenda 21? It is the 21 principles for conservation of nature. When it was adopted at Rio Earth Conference. Okay, Rio Earth Conference, which was held in 1993. United Nations Convention on Desertification was adopted in 1994. Now what is the importance? It is the only international binding agreement to combat desertification. इसके अलावा कुछ है भी नहीं. फाइन. तो अगर हम रियो अर्थ समिट की बात करें, सो 1993 में ये हुआ था. जो इम्पोर्टेंट आउटकम्स थे इस समिट के, एक तो ये क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल था, सेकेंड वाज एजेंडा 21 जो आगे हमने ऊपर डिस्कस किया है, एजेंडा 21 एंड द थर्ड वाज कन्वेंशन ऑन बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी. दिस वर द थ्री important documents which were the outcome of Rio Earth Summit 1993. Now, yeah, knowledge involvement in research advancement through nurturing, which is also called as Kiran, is related to which of the following? First is promoting science and research among engineering graduates, B, promoting science and research among school students, C, supporting women with break in careers to return to research, D is improving gross enrollment in research and PhD at university level, E is none of the above. Let's see the answer. It is C, supporting women with break in careers to return to research. So important information over here is that knowledge involvement in research advancement through nurturing or Kiran is the division of the Department of Science and Technology. ये important हो गया आपके लिए. Okay, एक तो full form of Kiran, which is knowledge involvement in research advancement through nurturing. Second, it is under the Department of Science and Technology, aiming to support the women with break in careers. जिन women scientist के career में break आ गया, and again they want to join the research field, so they can join the field through the Kiran. Okay, fine. And the Department of Science and Technology especially runs a program scheme which is called as Women Scientist Scheme, under which the Kiran is the part. Okay. Now Sankalp Se Siddhi Mission Vandhan was launched by the Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs, is related to what? Is it related to improving tiger population in India? Is it related to improving the forest area covered in India? Is it a livelihood initiative in tribal areas for tribal people? Or is it improving forest-based tourism in India? Or E, none of the above? So let's see the correct answer. The correct answer is, it is livelihood initiative in tribal areas. So Sankalp Se Siddhi Mission Vandhan is a livelihood initiative in the tribal affairs, in the tribal areas, launched by the Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Then this is important, IDEX DIO in relation to India is associated with which of the following? A, defense production, B, 5G trials, C, drone surveillance, D, elementary education, E, none of the above. So the correct answer is defense production. Okay, now as you know that the defense equipments required by India, mainly it is imported. Okay, and we have to shell out our foreign exchange. So the government wants to eliminate it, and it wants to promote the self-reliance and indigenization in defense and aerospace sector of the country. So with that objective, okay, the IDEX framework and establishment of DIO was by the Department of Defense Production, okay, is aimed at creating an ecosystem to foster innovation and technology development in defense and aerospace by engaging industries. खास करके यहाँ पे देखिए फोकस इसके ऊपर है, industries including MSMEs, startups, individual innovators, R&D and academia, सबके ऊपर ओके एक इकोसिस्टम तैयार करना चाहता है जहाँ पे एकेडेमिया का भी रोल है, एकेडमिक्स का रोल हो, R&D का रोल हो, इंडिविजुअल इनोवेटर्स के रोल हो, स्टार्टअप्स के रोल्स हो, MSMEs भी रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं और बिग इंडस्ट्रीज भी रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं. एंड दिस स्कीम विल हेल्प बाय गिविंग देम ग्रांट्स और फंडिंग, ओके, for R&D development, which has a good potential for future adoption of Indian defense and aerospace needs. Fine, ये मत भूलना that this program aims for self-reliance and indigenization in defense and aerospace sector. The next is the first ever solo woman motorcycle expedition of India was organized by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, the Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs, Border Roads Organization, Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force, or none of the above. So the correct answer is Border Roads Organization. Now see, the first ever solo women motorcycle organization organized by Border Roads Organization was flagged off by Raksha Mantri or Defense Minister Sri Rajnath Singh from BRO headquarters, okay, on June 11, 2021. Now who is going to be this part of solo women motorcycle expedition? Now this name is important, Kanchan Ugur Sandhi. Kanchan Ugur Sandhi, Miss Kanchan Ugur Sandhi. She is a 29-year-old biker. She has, okay, with experience of 10 years, okay, and 21,000 kilometers she has already traveled. Now she has undertaken this challenge of covering 3187 kilometers in 24 days, and in the expedition she is going to cross Umlingla Pass. Now what is the highlight of the Umlingla Pass? It is the highest motorable pass in Ladakh, okay, at 19,301 feet, okay, in the world. And what is the route she is going to take? She will start from New Delhi, Manali, Leh, Umlingla Pass, and then she will take the same route to come back to Delhi, covering 3,187 kilometers. Now the Pencil portal aims to eliminating the child labor, to improve the gross enrollment rate in primary schools, to improve the learning outcome in basic mathematics and reading, to improve the child sex ratio in India, or none of the above. So let's move to the answer. So it aims to eliminate child labor. Now what is the full form of Pencil? It is a platform for effective enforcement of no child labor, okay, or Pencil. Okay, it is an outline for a platform which aims to bring, now see, it is going to bring union government, state government, district authorities, civil societies and public together with the single objective of eradicating child labor. Now the next question is that Pencil portal functions under which of the ministry? So it does not function under Women and Child Development or under Home Ministry. It focuses under Union Ministry of Labor and Employment. under the National Child Labor Project. Okay, the National Child Labor Project aims to eliminate the child labor, rehabilitation of child labor. Now, fine. Now, the link with this is World Day Against Child Labor. Okay, so the World Day Against Child Labor is annually observed on 12th June. Now, this is observed by International Labour Organization, which is the only tripartite organization of United Nations. Okay, the World Day Against Child Labor was started in 2022 to focus the attention on the global extent of child labor. Okay, now the next is All India Survey on Higher Education 2019-20 was released by the Union Ministry of Education. Which of the following is not true related to that? So total enrollment in India has decreased, gross enrollment in India has increased, gender parity has improved in India, pupil teacher ratio in India was 26 और E none of the above. अब ऐसे क्वेश्चंस अगर आपके सामने आ जाते हैं तो आपको थोड़ा सा कॉमन सेंस भी लगाना होता है. हर जगह पे इम्प्रूवमेंट है, बस एक जगह पे इम्प्रूवमेंट नहीं है, दैट इज टोटल एनरोलमेंट इन इंडिया. अब बी ऑप्शन को देखो, ग्रॉस एनरोलमेंट रेशियो इन इंडिया हैज इंक्रीज्ड. So if the gross enrollment ratio in India has increased, so how come the total enrollment will decrease? It cannot decrease, it should also increase. So here option A is the incorrect option. So see, the incorrect option is A, total enrollment rate in India has decreased. Now see the major highlights of All India Survey on Higher Education. So the total enrollment ratio in education has increased by 3.04%. Gross enrollment ratio is now 27.1%. Earlier it was 24.3%. Gender parity index is now 1.01. Earlier in 2018-19 it was 1. And then pupil teacher ratio is 26. अब यहाँ पे एक चीज़ का ध्यान दीजिएगा. This survey is talking about the year 2019-20. पिछले साल की बात कर रही है, इस साल की बात नहीं कर रही है. Okay, it is talking about the last year. Since the report is released this year, but still the report is highlighting the status of the last year. Now, Sage portal has been launched by which of the following ministry? The Union Ministry of Women and Child Welfare, the Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the Union Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, or none of the above. So see the answer, it is the Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. आपको इस नाम पे ध्यान देना पड़ेगा, SAGE, SAGE, SAGE. ओके, इसी से रिलेटेड है. Now see the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry. So for women we have different ministry, for child and for women and child we have different ministry. But there are many other vulnerable population living in India. For example, old age population, disabled people, okay, persons with different ability, they are living in India. What about them? Okay, what about them? What about scheduled caste? What about scheduled tribes? Okay, we have Ministry of Tribal Affairs, which we don't have ministry which is directly dealing with scheduled caste. Okay, so they are the vulnerable sections of our society. So the welfare of all this section is looked by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has launched the SAGE, Senior Care Aging Growth Engine initiative for elderly person. Now what is the highlight? The SAGE portal will be a one-stop access. ठीक है ना, ओल्ड एज में आदमी ज़्यादा घूम नहीं सकता है, उसको सब सॉल्यूशन अगर एक जगह पे मिल जाए तो इट विल बी वेरी 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 relief for that person. So it is a one-stop access of elderly care products and services by credible startups. Okay, so SAGE portal एक ऐसा portal होगा गवर्नमेंट का कि if somebody is of old age, so their needs and services will be taken care of at the one portal only. So this portal is the one-stop access of elderly care products and services by credible startups. So the SAGE portal will be open for applications from 5th June 2021. Now the startups will be selected on the basis of, first is, are they providing innovative product and services, okay, and they should cover health, housing, care centers apart from technological access linked to finance, food and wealth management and legal guidance. Okay, now the next is, who is the incumbent Union Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment? Shri Thawarchand Gehlot, as on 30 means as on June 30th 2021. The next question is about the match the following. You have to identify the correct match. Okay, so we have performance grading index, sustainable development index, QS, world university ranking, world university investment report. So you have to match it the organization which is releasing this report. So the correct answer is none of the above. Okay, so the performance grading index is released by Union Ministry of Education. Sustainable development index released by Niti Aayog. QS world university ranking is released by Quacquarelli Simons Limited. Then world investment report is released by United Nations Council for Trade and Development. Okay, now performance grading index in this Punjab has topped. Sustainable development index Kerala has topped. Quacquarelli Simons Limited, here Massachusetts Institute of Technology is the world's #1 university. World investment report, it has said that India is the highest recipient of FDI in 2020. Then you have to identify the incorrect statement. Bucharest 9, okay, it is related to Bucharest 9 is a group for, it is related with NATO. Okay, so Bucharest 9 was founded in 2015. Ukraine is a member of Bucharest 9. Members of the Bucharest 9 were the part of the former Soviet Union. Members of Bucharest 9 are the members of the NATO. E is none of the above. So the correct answer is B, Ukraine. Ukraine is not the member of Bucharest 9. So see the 9 countries: Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania and Slovakia, Eastern European countries. They have established a platform for political cooperation, political consultation and cooperation within NATO. These countries are very close to Russia actually. Okay, so they are threatened by the rising expansion of Russia in the Black Sea region. Okay, so they are named as Bucharest 9 and they are also regarded as the voice of the eastern flank in the NATO alliance. So they are members of NATO also. Okay, and since they are very close to Russia, so they have formed a separate group. And now it was formed in 2015. When it was formed in 2014, Russia annexed Crimea. Okay, earlier Crimea was the part of Ukraine, but Russia forcibly annexed Crimea in Black Sea. After that, this Bucharest 9 group was formed. And what was the fallout of this Crimea annexation? Russia was indefinitely suspended from G8. Now, which of the following statement is not true about the Deep Ocean mission launched recently by India? A is the mission envisages separate allocation of funds for states. B is the Union Ministry of Earth Science is the nodal agency for the implementation of the mission. C is the development and launch of Matsya 6000. The D is the Deep Ocean mission envisages exploration of polymetallic nodules, and E is none of the above. So the correct answer is A, the mission envisages separate allocation of funds for state. It is a central sector scheme. It does not envisages separate allocation for the states. So see the rationale. The Deep Ocean mission is proposed to be a central sector scheme and no separate allocation for state is envisaged. The funds are expected to be allocated based on the estimates. Okay, it is proposed to collaborate with non-governmental organizations for research collaboration for various components of Deep Ocean mission. So under Deep Ocean mission, we are going to develop, test and demonstrate the mining technology for harvesting the polymetallic nodules. What are polymetallic nodules? Certain minerals like manganese, cobalt, nickel, iron we find at the ocean beds, which are called as polymetallic nodules. And now why India has launched Deep Ocean mission? Because India has recently got the right to mine the 75,000 square kilometer area of central Indian Oceans by International Seabed Authority. The next is the National Maritime Heritage Complex is to be developed at which of the following state? A is Maharashtra, B is Gujarat, C is Odisha, D is Kerala, E is none of the above. So the answer is B, Gujarat. Now this is important. India and Portugal have collaborated to set up the National Maritime Heritage Museum at the ancient Indian site of Lothal. Okay, Lothal is in Gujarat and it was the major port during the Indus Valley civilization, and this museum is going to display India's heritage of inland waterways and trade through water route. The next is the National Disaster Management Authority is headed by which of the following? A. Prime Minister, B. The Union Home Minister, C. The President of India, D. The Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and E. None of the above. So A is the Prime Minister. Now this was in news, okay, the National Disaster Management Authority, so it becomes very important. So the National Disaster Management Authority is headed by the Prime Minister of India. It was established by the National Disaster Management Act 2005. The National Disaster Response Force is a specialized force for carrying out the rescue and search operation. For example, when the cyclone Yas hit the eastern coast, so the first force to respond to that disaster was National Disaster Response Force. Okay, now who is the incumbent Director General of NDRF? So IPS Officer SN Pradhan. So here I have ended the lecture. Please go to the questions once again. Those are very important questions for the month of June. And please subscribe to our channel, and please subscribe to our Telegram also, the link of which has been provided in the description box for daily questions on English, legal affairs, quantitative aptitudes, reasoning, and GK and current affairs. Thank you.